Dark bleatings, everybody. If I'm looking off in a slightly weird direction, it's because I'm trying something different filming with my phone, so sorry about that if my eyes are just looking slightly past you and not right at you, but I can't actually see myself from where I'm sitting today, and the way around I have my phone. So I thought I'd do something really silly because I get asked this question quite a lot. I thought I would show you my current TBR stack, pile, list, what have you. So this is going to consist of my ebooks. So all of my ebooks are review requests. Then I'm going to show you my shelf of going to read soon, because they're either review requests or I want to write book reviews of them and I want to get round to them quickly. And then I'm going to show you my personal TBR that's nothing to do with Happy Goat Horror. These are just books that I have amassed over time that I have not yet got round to reading, or there are a few in that collection that I want to reread, but obviously that's not the most pressing thing with the amount of requests I have. And then at the end we're going to tally everything up and I'm going to tell you how many books are on this list altogether, and I will be offering a prize for the person who most closely guesses when I'll actually get to the end of this particular stack. So you know, obviously that prize isn't going to be given out for a while, but yeah, it'll all be fun to cast your votes in the comments. So I'm going to pronounce these first two wrong, or at least like the series wrong. I'm awful with things like this, but I met a lovely author called Kit Whitfield at FantasyCon, and she has a series called the Gyford series, G-Y-R Ford series, and yeah, she was telling me about these books, and I'm not normally a fantasy person, as you know. I'm usually like sort of just all in on the horror and sometimes a little non-fiction, but I'm you know, very intrigued, so I thought I would just show you these absolutely beautiful covers and give you the little back cover synopsis for each, and like see what you guys think. How soon should I read these? Should I interrupt my horror readings to slot these in, or what do you think? Like, so firstly, here is the synopsis for book 1, In the Heart of Hidden Things. And also look at this cover. It's got, oh, I love the colours, and it's very seasonal to me at the moment as well. So the back cover says,
everyone knows that if you fall afoul of the people, you must travel the miles to Gyford, where uncounted generations of fairy smiths have protected the county with cold iron, good counsel, and unvarnished opinions about your common sense. But shielding the weak from the strong can make enemies. Ephraim Brady has money and power, and the bitter will to hurt those who cross him. And if he can't touch Elder Farrier, Jedediah Smith, he can harm those the Smiths care about. The Smiths care about Tobias Way, born on a night when the blazing fey dog Black Hal roared past the Way's gate. Tobias doesn't understand the language or laws of men, and he can't keep away from the Balaam woods, where trespass is a hanging offence. If Toby is to survive, he needs protection. It should be a manageable job. Jedediah Smith has a head on his shoulders, and so too mostly does his son Matthew. Only Matthew's son John has turned out a little uncommon, but he means well.
And then the direct sequel is called All the Hollow of the Sky, and look at this cover as well. They're so pretty. I really love the little cobwebby details in this one too. And this one says, I'm going to mispronounce the place name again, sorry. If you asked the folks of Gyford, they'd tell you Jedediah Smith looked up to his father. After all, Corby Markham was the Sarsen shepherd, the man who saved the Smith clan from Ab, the terrifyingly well-meaning fae who blighted a whole generation with unwanted gifts. Corby was a good fairy smith, and if he wasn't a good father, well, that isn't something Jedediah likes to talk about, especially since no one knows where Corby's body lies. The day of his son's wedding, 40-odd years ago, he set off to travel and was never seen again. These days, Jedediah is a respectable elder, more concerned with his wayward grandson John than with his long-buried past, and he has other problems on his mind. There's the preparations for St. Clement's Day, and the odd fact that birds all over the county have taken to hiding themselves, and the misbehaviour of Left Lop the pig, which has grown vegetation all over its back, escaped its farm, and taken to making personal remarks at folks in alarmingly alliterative verse. But then disaster strikes. Ab is back, and Corby, though thought long dead, returns to Gyford, younger than his son. So I'm sold on this just by Left Lop the pig alone. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is this the kind of thing, like, if you don't normally read fantasy, is this the kind of thing that would draw you in to a fantasy book? Because I really like fairies, and I didn't realise that until I read The Ouija Man by N.P. Cunliffe, I'm so sorry, I'll put the cover here. yeah, and that was sort of like an Irish folkloric fairy kind of story, and I'd like more. So let's move on to the ebook TBR, shall we? So these are all review requests. Some of them are ARCs, and I'm really excited. I have to go off a list because there are 24 ebook requests, and that has decreased for a reason that I'll tell you when we get to the physical books. Incarnate by Richard Thomas, which is an Arctic horror novel, this is a perfect time of year for that. Neighbourly Mischief, which is by Christina Merzo or Merzois. I'm so sorry for Christina, I'm not sure how I pronounce your surname. Which is a quirky dark comedy novella, and I'm really excited because I've read The Headsman by Christina. I was going to try the surname again, but by Christina, and I really enjoyed that, so I'm looking forward to this. I've got Chopping Spree by Angela Sylvain, which is a horror novella, and I'm really excited because I'm a big fan of Angela Sylvain's Frostbite. I really love that book. I've talked about it quite a bit here, so I won't go into it again. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading a novella from her. Then I've got, which I'm actually halfway through this right now, The Richter Screen and Other Tales of Insanity from Erica Summers, which is a collection. And I have to tell you, it's going to have to absolutely bomb to get lower than a 5-star rating from me at this point. It's already so good. I'm really enjoying it. Spoiler alert for whenever I do my review, unless, you know, it could go hideously wrong, but Erica hasn't let me down before, so I got quite a lot of faith in her. I've got Counted with the Dead from Peter O'Keefe, which is a horror novel. The Ravening or The Ravening by Daniel Church, which is a novel. I'm excited for all of these. Enigma Exposed from Eric Brown and Keith Brook, which is a novella. I haven't read anything by those two authors before, so I'm really looking forward to getting to that. Then I've got Grey, which is a novella from Ian Rogers. Remedy from J.S. Brucalia, I'm so sorry, Jay. Dark Worlds We Wander from Kristen Kirby, which is a collection, and I'm really excited about this because Kristen Kirby has written one of my 10 favourite short stories of all time called Meat, that I read earlier this year, so I can't wait to read more short stories from her, especially like an entire collection of Kristen Kirby. I cannot wait to see what horrible dastardly things are lurking in that book. Then I've got a trilogy of books, the Suffering Sequence trilogy from Elizabeth Lynn Blackson. They're all novels. I'm really excited because I haven't read anything from this author before either. Then I've got from Elizabeth Broadbent, and I have read Elizabeth Broadbent and I really like her writing, 98 Sabres, which is a Southern Gothic horror novel. I've only read novellas, I think, from Elizabeth so far, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. Echoes in Dark Places from L.F. Shelley, which is a collection. It's another new author to me. I've got a novella called Price Manor, The House That Seeks from Mocha Pennington, and that is one of my most anticipated reads of my entire life. I'm a really big fan of some of Mocha's short fiction, and I've been dying to read something longer, so I'm really excited, and that's going to be her debut novella as well. It's not out yet, but I'm really excited for that one. A Season of Horrors, which is 4 novellas from Roland Blake, again, who I haven't read. Halloween from the British Library, edited by Johnny Mains, which is an anthology of stories and poems, and Johnny Mains tends to be consistently like pretty good. Whenever I see edited by Johnny Mains on something, I tend to get it. I recently reviewed Bound in Blood, which was from Titan, which I'm sorry, the cat is clawing the carpet even though I opened the door for him. Woo. Anyway, Bedlam Trances by Nicholas Wagner, which is a collection of horror and crime stories. Nicholas is new to me as well, as is Daniel Schrader, who has sent me a novel called Soulless Lonesome. I've got Happy Bunny and Other Mischiefs from Rebecca Gransden, which is a collection. I've got a lot of collections in here, which I'm not complaining about because I really love short stories, so this is quite delightful. I have a novel which is broken up into 8 connecting stories, like a TV episodic kind of thing, called Witch Hazel from sorry about my cat, from T.C. Roberts Finn, and I'm excited to get to that just because format wise that reminds me a little bit of the way that Stephen King released The Green Mile. Obviously I'll get this all in one go, but yeah, I really love that kind of storytelling format. I found the first pitfall of recording with my phone the other way around, so I can't actually see myself on the screen, and that's that my storage space filled up while I was talking and cut me off. So anyway, also I didn't realise how like front and centre my whole head was, and I have a very large round head and face, so sorry about that. Hopefully you're just listening to this and not watching it. So let's continue with the list, shall we? I believe we got to Witch Hazel. So now, yes, I need to tell you about Sacrilege, which I got from Barbara Avon, which is either a novella or a short novel, I think, because it's about 160 pages, so I think we're in that sort of territory. Then I've got The Harvest from Alex Hunter, which is again a novel, and I haven't read anything from these two authors. I have read Mark Towse quite a lot, and he sent me Poison Ivy, which is a collection, which is a prequel to Nana and Other Dark Tales, which I'm really excited about, because if you've been watching my reviews or reading my reviews for a while, you know that I'm a huge fan of Nana, and just Mark Towse in general kind of always hits a home run for me with his work, so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And then lastly for this list, we have The Last Breath Before Death, which is by Alan Goulburn, and it's a novel. So yeah, that's 27 ebooks I've got requests. So if you have sent me an ebook and I didn't mention it here, it's because I've read it and it is currently scheduled for review. So like, don't worry too much if I didn't actually mention something that you've sent me. It just means I've already read it and it's going up on the website soon. All right, so time to take you to my shelves now. Okay, now we're on my TBR shelf. So this is my immediate TBR of physical copies. Now, I'm not going e-copies and then physical copies. These are all mixed in, and what you're about to see, and what you just heard, in fact, actually isn't the order in which I'm reading everything. That's just the whole list. So, we have Come Sing for the Harrowing by Dan Coxon, Shadow Plays edited by Mike Chin and Peter Colburn, which is an anthology, and then another anthology edited by Dan Coxon called Heartwood, The Corpse Road by Sean Hogan, Into the Wild Green Yonder by Peter Crowther and my good pal Tim Lebon. He didn't tell me that this was coming out. Sneaky. Here I have Laid to Unrest, which is an anthology that Annie Knox sent me. Thank you very much, Annie. I've got Dave Jeffries' Mood Swings. Did I already mention, like, some of these are review requests and some of them are just like books I want to read soon, and I can't remember which is which at the moment. I've got This Book I Cannot Pronounce and Other Noir Tales, which is a collection from Roger Keane. Wish Upon a Dark Star, which is the new collection from Richard Clive. A big Richard Clive fan, so really excited. And then I've got Deadly Plot and Of Sands and Tides from Jan Edwards. The Private Life of Elder Things, which is an anthology or a collection. Adrian Karras and Adam. Then we'll always have Alchemy from Alchemy Press, edited by Peter Colburn. You'll have seen a lot of these if you saw my FCon haul video, by the way. Die Lethal, makes me laugh every time, by Adam Millard. The artistry. Then I've got the originals, Rage and the originals Retribution from David Watkins. So they follow on from the originals Return, which is his werewolf series. Behind a Broken Smile from Penny Jones. That's a collection and I'm really looking forward to it. This one that I cannot pronounce from Phil Sloman, but it's a nice little brief fella there. Le Vercontoir. I know that that's wrong, but that's how I'm saying it. Fallen Over from James Everington, which I believe is a collection. Fear Across the Mersey from Ramsey Campbell, new collection. And then I've got Blood Crazy, book 1, 2, 3 from Simon Clarke. Now this one is going to be a reread, but I don't believe I read these two. The Protos Experiment from Simon Clarke is his newest book. And then I have got Mason Gorey, A Haunting Catskill Elegy from Stephanie Ellis and Shane D. Keane. I've got Terry Grimwood's Wolfworld here. And then, oh no, Simon actually did send me a voice note telling me how to pronounce this, but I can't remember. I'm so sorry, Simon. The extended version of Let Your Hinge Jaw Do the Talking from Tom Johnston collection, and then from Tom Johnston again, How I Learned the Truth About Krampus. Then I have got from Flame Tree Press, which Mark Morris took care of getting these to me, so I'm really grateful. Thank you, Mark and Flame Tree. I've got That Which Stands Outside, which is a novel from Mark, and an anthology, Darkness Beckons. Really excited. Misery and Other Lines from CC Adams, which I want to review because he's just re-released it with a new press because Sinister Horror Company went bye-bye. I've got For Those Who Dream Monsters by Anna Taborska. Super excited to get to that. The Brothel Creeper by Rhys Hughes, which I've started. Strings from S.Q. McGrath, who you all know I'm a huge fan of. And then I've got A Silent Dystopia, Stories of a Quiet Apocalypse. So these are all stories. This is an anthology of stories set in the world of Dave Jeffries' A Quiet Apocalypse series, which I love. All Who Wander Are Lost from Gemma Amor. I've started this too, All Nightmare Long by Tim Lebbon. And I've got Adam Millard's The Village of C, Gods and Mobsters. And then I have here Anna Taborska's Shadowcast. So yes, as I said, this is an assortment of things that people have given to me for review, or just things that are on my personal TBR that I want to review soon. A lot of these PS Publishing titles, this, a few more. I did actually get ebook copies from the publisher. PS Publishing are super generous to me with things like that, but I couldn't resist and I acquired physical copies at FantasyCon. Okay, so let's move on to my personal TBR that's nothing to do with the site, but I will inevitably review all these books anyway.
Alright, so An Academy for Liars from Alexis Henderson, The Five Turns of the Wheel from Stephanie Ellis, from S.Q. McGrath, Finding Zach Farmer, Jude's Music and Sublime Messages. And then, what's in here? Mary Sangiovanni's Thrall, which that'll be a reread. Stara by Danny Brown, I hear it's extreme. We Are Here to Hurt Each Other from Paula Diash, and there was The Sharp End of the Rainbow there as well also. Looking Back in Darkwood, we'll mess this up. A Bouquet of Viscera from Bridget Nelson. Coupe de Gras from Sophie Adra. Sorry about the voiceover, this was getting confusing for me. Disturbances from Jenna Clark. Angela Carter's book of fairy tales, The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. Aaliyah Whitley's Fearsome Creatures, Charlotte Bond, Tana Navu, Laura Morrow, Naming the Bones, whatever was under, January's by Olivia Blake, The Others of Edenwell, messing this up, Verity Holloway. A Good House for Children by Kate Collins. 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Augustina, but didn't see it. Mur by Polly Hull. Finally got one. Oh my god. Christina Henry's The House Horror Built. The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. That my tattoo artist Chloe Black recommended this to me. Greensmith from Aaliyah Whiteley. Oh gosh. Beverly Lee's The House of Little Bones. Fog Island by Mariette Lindstrom. The Death Takes the A Train. Oh, no, I didn't see the author, sorry. Sarah Waters' The Little Strange. God, I don't know why I'm still trying. Eyes, Guts, Throat, Bones by Moira. Oh, no, missed it. Fables and Fabrications by Jan Edwards. I Spit Myself Out by Tracy Fahey. Doing a great job of this, aren't I, guys? I'm so sorry. Catherine Cavendish, The Haunting of Henderson Close. My Throat and Open Grave by Tori Bovolino. Should have given myself a bit more time. Frozen Charlotte by Alex, I want to say Bell. Broken Monsters by Lauren Bukes. How do you say that? Looking Glass Sound Katrina Ward. Right, here it's pronounced Katrina. Smother Moss by Alyssa Ellering. Oh gosh. Anne Radcliffe's The Mysteries of Udolpho. This is a gothic horror from hundreds of years back. Oh gosh. The Skull, V.C. Andrews, Petals on the Wind, and If They Be Thorns. I don't know what way around they're meant to go. And then I got my Res Evil game tie-ins by S.D. Perry, so Nemesis and City of the Dead. I've been meaning to get to this range. Oh, I missed one. Broke. And then I've got my Anne Rice Vampire Chronicles that I've got left. So Merrick, Blood and Gold, Blackwood Farm, Blood Canticle, Pandora and Victoria the Vampire. Oh, God, sorry. Continuing on, we've got Everville by Clive Barker, Cold Heart Canyon by Clive Barker, Galilee by Clive Barker. Dean's got mixed up in the Clives there, whoops, but that's Dean Koontz Lightning, Clive Barker Sacrament, Clive Barker Imagica, Weave World,
Then we're on to my Graham Mastertons that I have not yet read. The House That Jack Built, Basilisk, The Chosen Child, Ritual, and Walkers. Now we've got some Paul Tremblay. Now, I actually have read these, but I want to reread them for review purposes. So we've got The Pallbearers Club, Disappearance at Devil's Rock, The Beast You Are, and Growing Things. I stupidly didn't make notes when I was reading those, so I need to reread to be able to do good reviews. Then we've got some J. Bone and Zinger, who I met, who is a lovely person. So this is Self-Storage. And then we've got 2 of the Walking Dead novels that he co-wrote with Robert Kirkman, but truthfully I think that maybe just Jay actually wrote these by the time we got to these ones in the series. I've read the previous ones. Then we've got some Tim Lebbon. I've got After the War, Eden, and Relics. And then we've got some Jeff Vandermeer here, The Third Bear, and Annihilation. I'm dying to read Annihilation, actually. Jack Higgins, Angel of Death, and Midnight Runner. I've never read any Jack Higgins, so I just don't know what I'm in for there. And then we've got some Joe Hill, The Fireman, and Heart-Shaped Box. Then we're on to Adrian Baldwin, who I'm always recommending to people. Lesser known, but brilliant writer and very funny. We've got Stanley McCloud Must Die, The Snowman and the Scarecrow, Floppy Shoes Apocalypse, Cream Pie Freaks, and Barnacle Brat. Then we've got some Mark Castle, The Shadow Fabric, and Sinister Stitches. On to the H.G. Wells, The First Men in the Moon, The War of the Worlds, and The Invisible Man, which I actually started reading and I don't know what happened, but I ended up putting it back. The rest of the Dean Koontz. So I've never actually read a Dean Koontz book, but I do have Odd Apocalypse, The Good Guy, Relentless. What does that say? I thought it said What the Night Worms. What the Night Knows. False Memory, Hideaway, Dragon Tears, Strange Highways, Dark Rivers of the Heart. Then I got some Stephen Graham Jones, Mongrels, and The Only Good Indians. I've got Black Room Manuscript volumes 3 and 4, which I have read, but I want to reread. And then I've got The Forgotten and the Fantastical 2, which is edited by Taker Bellamy. That's an anthology. Dissonant Harmonies, which I've read, but I want to reread Brian's story. So that's by Bev Vincent and Brian Keane. And then I've got these Bev Vincent books that I haven't finished this newest one here, the Stephen King one, but this one, I think they're kind of the same, but this one's like more illustrated. I have read, but I want to reread because I want to do a sort of side-by-side review comparison. All right, here. Powers of Darkness, the Lost Version of Dracula, and that is by Dacre Stoker, I think, if that's how I pronounce it, Dacre Stoker, which is a descendant of Bram Stoker. Live Bait by P.J. Tracy, no idea what that is. All That's Lost by Ray Cluley, which I bought 2 years ago, and I'm dying to get to it and still haven't. Robert Harris's The Ghost, no idea. H.P. Lovecraft, The Complete Fiction, so technically there are more than one books in that one book. Robert McCammon's The River of Souls, never read any McCammon before. David Baldacci, Zero Day, no idea what that is. The Absent One by, I'm going to butcher that, I'm not even going to try. Slewfoot, been on my list for absolutely ages. Aurora by David Coep. Tainted Isle by Dan Weatherer. The Gift of Joy by Ian Waits. Crypt of the Moon Spider by Nathan Ballingrud. What Dreams May Come by Richard Matheson. And then I've got a Chillicon anthology there from 2 years ago. Andy McNabb's Last Night Monsters, which is an anthology edited by Paul Kane. Midnight Movie Monographs, Tommy, which is the only Kit Power book I haven't yet read. Cast a Cold Eye by Alan Ryan, which I think is old. My Dead and Blackened Heart, which I've read, but I want to reread to review it. Preparing for a Nightmare anthology. A Book of Horrors, Stephen Jones anthology. I can't wait to get to that. And then I've got Told by the Dead by Ramsey Campbell, which I've read, but I want to reread. And then I've also got Probably, which is a collection of essays, and The Village Killings, which is a collection of novellas from Ramsey. So of course I'm super excited to get to those. Let the Right One In. John Lynn, oh shit. I've been dying to read that for so long, but I haven't got round to it. And then we need to talk about Kevin by Lionel Shriver, Unwind by Neil Shusterman, Ghost Story by Peter Straub, Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I've never actually read any Ray Bradbury, I don't think. And Thereby Hangs a Tale by Jeffrey Archer. The Monk by, oh wait, hang on. Lewis has a first name. Come here, Lewis. Tell me your name. Is it Matthew Lewis? Okay, so this is old. This is hundreds of years old, and I'm looking forward to getting to it. Old Country by Matt Query and Harrison Query. A.J. Ryan's Red River 7. The Willow by Your Side by Peter Haynes, which is new. Autumn by David Moody, which is, I know that's zombies. I can't wait. Crooked Little Vein by Warren Ellis. The Alchemy Press Book of Horrors, which I have read. I want to reread so I can review it. I already said Crooked Little Vein. Precious Blood by Jonathan Hayes. Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, which I was really excited to read, but I'm a bit less excited to read because of the goings on of what we won't mention that here. The Wire in the Blood, Val McDermid, no idea what that is. James Herbert's Moon. Thomas Harris's The Silence of the Lambs, I cannot wait. And now I have a bunch of the Shadows collection books from Black Shuck Books. Think of a Number by John Verdon. Niceville by Carsten Stroud. The Haunting of James Hastings by Christopher Ransom. What Kind of Mother by Clay McLeod Chapman. Carl Bailey's Trinity of Souls, which is brand new. A Scanner Darkly by Philip K. Dick. And Devil's Day by Andrew Michael Hurley. And then this is an F-bomb that my mum crocheted. Okay, so we have got, this is the last little bit now. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Witch by Ian Rob Wright, The Ancient Lawman by Ian David Noakes, Marked by Stuart Park, The Lure of the Unknown, Algernon Blackwood, I'm butchering my words, The Passage by Justin Cronin, Inquisition by Alfredo Colito, The Tales of Horror from Edgar Allan Poe, M.R. James's Collected Ghost Stories, 13 Cornish Ghost Stories, and Damnable Tales of Folk Horror Anthology. And then I've got Hail the New Age by Mike Chin, Literary Stalker by Roger Keane, and The Last Plague by Rich Hawkins. Okay, so in total, 27 ebooks. The immediate physical TBR behind me, 41. And then the rest, 184. So I didn't use my calculator because it's on my phone there and I couldn't be bothered. But I think that works out around 252 to be precise. 252 books. So if anyone has any tips on reading really fast, because I had this wild idea that I could maybe get them all done by February. But if you were with me in May, then you'll know the effect that reading a lot of books in 1 month like that has on me. I don't think I can do it. But yes, I'd like to reiterate, if you would like to take your best guess at the month and year that I will actually get to the end of this TBR, I will be monitoring it. I'm going to keep an eye on it from now to then, and whoever guesses the closest, you can put an exact date for fun if you like in the comments. Let's predict how long this is going to take me. I don't want to say how long I think it'll take me because I have an unfair advantage knowing my reading speed, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, guys, or tell me how long you think it would take you to get through this many books, because of course, you know, I want more. There are more I want, but I am going to try and maybe do a read what you own challenge, which I've heard about from Criminally. You read 100 books that you already own before you buy any new ones. I think maybe doing a couple of those. It'll take me a little while, but maybe that would benefit me. Hey you guys, subscribe, or Kaylee gets it. Did any of you guys, oh, I thought I heard something scary for a second there. I'm gonna make sure all my doors are locked, okay, bleed.